see what just happened in the USA shocked everyone. Is Jesus sending end times warnings? Have you ever wondered what happens when the sky roars and the earth shakes? Is it simply the noise of nature, or a warning to humanity? While the world remains absorbed in bright lights and fragile comforts, strange signs are beginning to surface. They do not arrive loudly, nor do they announce themselves in advance. They come swiftly, quietly, and with enough force to make us pause before we have time to deny them or look away. Water erupts and tears through roads. The earth trembles, swallowing buildings whole. Fire and thunder rip across the sky as war and chaos spread. Strange signs appear above and below, leaving humanity staring upward in silence. So, are you ready to join me in looking through the veil of truth? So don't miss any details. And now, let us begin with a scene that left many unable to look away. A violent column of muddy water erupting during a flood in Redding, California. Imagine this. On a familiar city street, the ground does not crack open. Instead, murky brown floodwater suddenly surges upward, thick like living mud. Everything happens so fast that the person filming barely understands what is unfolding. Then comes the moment that makes everyone freeze. The water no longer flows normally. It churns from within, as if something deep beneath the ground is being stirred. In a busy urban area, where people are accustomed to traffic noise rather than natural disasters, the muddy water suddenly blankets the entire road. And then, from that very flood, massive columns of water shoot straight into the air, twisting, towering dozens of meters high, as if the earth itself is releasing something that has been trapped for a long time. This is not rain, not clear water, but dense flood mud being forced upward from below with an almost indescribable power. Cars swerve, people retreat in panic. There are no clear cries for help, only fragmented sounds of impact, and an eerie silence. The moment when people realize they are facing something beyond their control. Experts quickly offer explanations. Underground water pressure, broken pipes, aging infrastructure, extreme weather, all reasonable. But what haunts viewers is not the explanation. It is the way everything erupts. Sudden, unannounced, and from beneath the ground itself. Standing between two perspectives, science and faith. Perhaps the most important thing is not choosing a side, but learning to listen. Because if this is only floodwater rising from below, then a larger question remains. What happens when the ground beneath our feet begins to shake? And when water no longer rises only from the earth, elsewhere the earth itself begins to tremble. Two powerful earthquakes strike Bangkok in succession. Magnitude 7.7. In just seconds, a city of more than 10 million people is thrown into chaos. Cold numbers appear on the news, but behind them are images that shock all of Southeast Asia. Skyscrapers sway violently. One building collapses completely. Bangkok, a symbol of progress and stability, suddenly becomes the center of fear. In circulating videos, the ground ripples like waves. Buildings tilt, then collapse with deafening force. Concrete dust fills the sky once bright with city lights. Aftershocks continue. Traffic grinds to a halt. People pour into the streets in panic. Experts warn of cascading collapses and urge immediate evacuation. A city built on speed and control suddenly feels fragile before an invisible movement rising from deep within the earth. Science provides fault maps, seismic data, predictive models. But the lingering question is not only why earthquakes happen, it is this. When humanity's strongest symbols can fall in seconds, what are we really placing our trust in? And when the ground shakes beneath modern cities, the sky elsewhere is no longer silent. Russian hypersonic missiles strike Ukraine, carrying images that send chills around the world. The Russia-Ukraine conflict enters a new phase, where war no longer remains on the ground but moves into the sky. International media call it thunder from hell. The missile is said to travel at extreme speed, tearing through Eastern European airspace in moments. In Ukraine, air raid sirens wail endlessly as people look up in a fear they know too well. But what captures attention is not just power or speed. It is the images recorded at night, a pale golden streak slicing across the sky, followed by white trails falling along unpredictable paths, like shadows gliding through the air. Some call it a physical effect. Others say it resembles ancient descriptions of fire, thunder, and signs in the heavens. From a faith perspective, war has never been merely human conflict. It has always come with warnings that force humanity to pause and reflect. Military experts and scientists provide clear explanations: plasma effects, friction at extreme velocity, nothing supernatural. Yet where science, war, and belief intersect, one truth remains undeniable: humanity's fragility before the power it has created. And if these lights in the sky are only the beginning, the question remains, as war continues to escalate, what will appear next above us? Amid missiles and skies set ablaze by conflict, there are moments when the heavens become strangely quiet. A mysterious cloud appears, and many say it resembles the figure of Jesus. No screams, no panic, just a moment when the sky seems to slow down, as if time itself is holding its breath. In soft sunlight, an unusual shape emerges. A standing figure, arms extended as if offering a blessing. A warm, golden light surrounds it, not blinding, but calming in a way difficult to explain. Scripture says, "Clouds and thick darkness surround him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne." Psalm 97:2. In faith, clouds do not only conceal, they signify presence. And Revelation 1-7 adds, "Behold, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him." These words transform the image from something merely seen into something that makes people stop. Some call it a psychological phenomenon, the mind finding familiar shapes in clouds. Others believe the feeling it evokes is too deep to dismiss as coincidence. Across the vast sky, there are moments that make us look up and reflect. It may be only a cloud, or it may be a gentle reminder that God is still calling people back before stronger signs appear. And if this peaceful image is only the beginning, then when the sky is no longer gentle, when light turns to fire, will we be ready? And while humanity remains focused on the lights it creates for itself, the sky above begins sending unfamiliar signals. A strange golden light flashes in the night sky like a silent warning. Below, the city glows with streetlights, billboards, and skyscrapers, familiar, vibrant, and seemingly under control. Then, within a slow-moving dark cloud above, the light appears. Not white-blue lightning, but warm golden pulses, blinking rhythmically, like an invisible emergency signal. It does not flash once and vanish. It repeats, illuminating the cloud's edge, forcing observers to slow down and watch. The contrast is stark. Noisy artificial light below, a quiet signal from the darkness above. Scripture speaks of signs from heaven, not always immediate destruction, but gentle warnings. The heavens declare the glory of God. Psalm 19:1 says, "The sky has never truly been silent." Science offers other explanations. Lightning within clouds, light refraction, reflections from city lights. No message, just physics. But placed side by side, the question is no longer right versus wrong. It is this. Why are such phenomena appearing more frequently above the very cities where humanity feels most secure and powerful? The light fades. The cloud disperses. Life resumes, but the unease remains. Because if this is only a gentle reminder from the sky, what happens when the next signs are no longer gentle? And as the strange lights fade from the night sky, at dawn, another image emerges that many cannot ignore. The sun has not fully risen. Streetlights still flicker. Morning mist clings to rooftops as thick clouds roll in from the horizon. Amid the gray tones of dawn, an eerie green light spreads across the sky. No alarms, no heavy rain. Just dark green clouds slowly swirling overhead. Then, sudden green lightning flashes dim, spectral sketching a massive shape hidden within. A long, twisting form with protrusions resembling multiple heads and widespread wings. The video shakes slightly. The image is unclear, and that ambiguity is what unsettles viewers most. Some frames resemble a moving dragon. Others are too blurred to be certain. Many say it is merely an optical illusion. Dense clouds, green lightning, and a chance camera angle creating a familiar shape. But others notice a striking resemblance to ancient descriptions. Revelation 12:3 says, "A great dragon with many heads appeared in heaven," and Daniel 7:7 speaks of a terrifying and powerful beast. In Scripture, dragons are not creatures of fantasy, but symbols of chaos, dark power, and rebellion during times of upheaval. Looking again at the video, many do not claim to have seen a real dragon, yet they cannot dismiss the sense of warning it evokes. As the sun rises, the green light fades, and the shape dissolves into cloud. If symbolic images like these keep appearing in the sky and in the human mind, are they merely illusions of light? Or reminders that the world is entering a deeper season of instability? After hearing about the events, what made you pause and think the most? Let us know your answer in the comments below. When I look back at all that happened, from the ground shaking and society turned upside down to the strange signs constantly appearing in the sky, it's hard to think they were just coincidences. Each sign was like a link in a chain, connecting everything from nations to the universe. From the familiar things we touch every day, to the moments that leave us standing still, looking up with fear and awe, everything now seems to be coming together into a much larger picture. A picture that is no longer fragmented. A picture that is becoming harder and harder to ignore. It feels as though the end times are no longer a distant future, no longer a story reserved for another generation. They are knocking on the door of our daily lives, quietly, persistently, day after day. Not all at once, not in one overwhelming moment, but steadily enough that no one can honestly say they did not see